Hey everyone, David Nunya here, TexAgs Rewind, presented by T-Mobile. I got to ask you guys, how many teams do you think is the right number for the college football playoffs? Comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. Jimmo said the other day on the Rich Eisen show he thinks it should be around 16 teams. I haven't made up my mind on how I feel about it. I can go with 16. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd like to see the bowl games matter again. I do want to see A&M win with 4 right now, and then I also want to see them win with whatever they do. How about win it all the time? But I do want to remind you guys about T-Mobile. They say visit T-Mobile.com/across America to learn how you get more value and coverage through T-Mobile. So on the show, the big story, and I shouldn't have buried the lead. Baseball. What a weekend against Arkansas. Fantastic weekend it was. They take 2 of 3 from one of the top teams in the entire country, and they just find a way to win the game. Jacob Palish was huge on that one. We did have Jim Schlossnagle on the show, talked about that offensive approach that they had, especially in that third game. We had around Aggieland Richard Zane telling us all the things going on with women's tennis and softball, you name it. He was all over it. Plus, Billy Liucci joined us for the final hour of the show and talked about how the 12th Man's Foundation's announcement of the Centennial Campaign, the renderings, the stuff that's coming across the street from TexAgs is looking amazing. Here it is. It is TexAgs Rewind.
I have to go with the obvious because, again, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, I'm a nervous wreck, and I'm thinking they're going to let this beautiful 9-1 lead deteriorate and get away from them and maybe even lose the game. And here comes Palish in, and bam, bam, bam. You're out of the threats over in the 8th, and then an easy 9th inning.
And he also pitched phenomenally on Friday. Yeah, so 6 innings pitched, 3 hits. 10 strikeouts, goodness gracious. 1 base on ball. He was just dealing the story. And again, I think that what makes the story even better is how it all unfolded, right? Hey, I got you if you need me, coach. I'm ready.
It is a great story. If it was in a championship year, it would be legendary, right?
Yeah, but I think it's one of those that we're going to remember here for a very long time. What a performance there. Without a doubt. I'm going to give you a couple names out there, right? And obviously Jacob Palish is the big one out there. But I'm going to go beyond that. Jack Moss. So over the weekend, he went 7 of 13. That's 538, okay? But we're going to just make this 7. We're just going to talk about his Saturday and Sunday performance. 7 of 9, 3 RBIs, a 778 batting average. Is that good, OB?
It's better than I've ever done.
Yeah. Times 10.
Yeah, maybe 9.
That's 9 right there. Okay, so he's getting one of mine, and he's been this way pretty much all year long. And you can point at Dylan Rock's huge home run. Rock. You there's a lot of guys you can put. One of those that I did not talk about. I talked about his brother, but Austin Boast was great. 3 of 4 RBIs.
The game of baseball, more so probably than any other sport, rewards competitiveness directly. And I thought offensively, even though you didn't produce a lot of runs on Friday and Saturday, you were still super competitive at the plate. Saturday, you just didn't get the big hit. And I thought Friday, against a really good arm, you guys were pretty competitive. And it unfolds that way on Sunday where, you have a big number. And so is that just kind of the pressure that it goes – I think it all goes back to that LSU weekend, right? Like that's where this identity set in. And now it's what y'all have put in a bottle, and it y'all travel with it. It's there in the dugout every day, seems like.
Yeah, it has been, and all the credit should go to the players and Michael Early. Certainly, from a hitting standpoint, Nolan Kane works with the hitters as well. Michael spends Coach Early spends an awful lot of time in scouting reports. He's an absolute superstar of a coach in every sense of the word. He's just not some swing coach that you would send somebody to for a private lesson. He gives us a plan. He gives each player a plan. And then, it's up to the player to go execute the plan. And so, our plan going into against a great pitcher like Nolan was just to be a nightmare for him. We're not chasing. If we chase once, we're not going to chase twice. We're going to try and get in deep counts. That doesn't mean we can't hit the ball early in the count, but we're going to make it tough on him. And we did. We had him on the ropes, and we only got the 2 runs out of it. And then, holy cow, you got to give him so much credit for the second win that he had in that game. I think he punched out maybe the last 4 or 5 hitters he faced. But yeah, I do feel like, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 spots, the lineup's pretty relentless. It's tough to pitch to. Guys don't panic. They don't they take a bad swing in an at-bat, but they get right back into the at-bat. Guys like Moss and Dylan Rock have proven that the entire season. But it's not just those guys. Kaler obviously as well. So, I think we've talked about this on the show before. The goal is not to draw walks. The goal is to get your pitch to hit, and then when you hit it, do damage with it, right? So on-base percentage and slugging percentage is what we're looking for. And that's not to say that I like strikeouts. I hate them. But when you get in deep counts and hit with 2 strikes a lot, and you're not afraid of hitting with 2 strikes, then that can be a really, really tough offense to pitch to.
You heard it right there. For the first time in program history, Texas A&M women's tennis winning the Southeastern Conference Championship. They won the tournament title yesterday, defeating Georgia 4-0. That completes the SEC double. Soccer term, right? You win multiple championships.
The double.
Some teams, Dalton's team in the back has a chance at a quad. But the women's tennis team, the double, adding the tournament title to the regular season crown. They, against SEC opponents this year, regular season and postseason, they're now 16-0, David.
That's good.
That's not bad. This weekend in Gainesville, the SEC tournament, they defeated Vanderbilt in the quarterfinal. They beat number 15 Florida on their home courts in the semifinals, and then enacting revenge from last year's SEC final, beating number 14 Georgia 4-0. Took the doubles point. Then Tatiana Makarova, Mary Stoyana, and J.C. Goldsmith all won their matches in straight sets to complete the sweep. Tatiana Makarova and J.C. Goldsmith were named the SEC All-Tournament Team, with Tatiana being named the tournament MVP. Just a fantastic weekend and a fantastic season for Mark Weaver's program.
Yeah, no, it's been phenomenal to watch them this year, and it's been all season long, like ridiculously all season long.
They're 30-1. That's crazy. I think the win streak's at 21 games.
Yep.
It's nuts.
It is ridiculous, yeah.
It's really fun to watch. You know who else is really fun to watch? Jim Schlossnagle's ball club. See that transition? They defeated the number 4 team in the country, taking 2 out of 3 from Arkansas this weekend at Olsen Field at Blue Bell Park. They're 10-8 in Southeastern Conference play, and remember, that's the best league in all of college baseball. On Friday, they took down Arkansas 2-1. Nathan Detmer getting the win, and then Jacob Palish, the brilliant 4-inning save, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk. It was an intentional walk, and 7 strikeouts. The Aggies fell to the Razorbacks 3-1 on Saturday before winning a slugfest 11-10 to take the series. The Aggies had a 9-1 lead after 4 innings. Arkansas came all the way back. It was Jacob Palish who was the hero yet again. He entered the 8th inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. A 2-run double, a single scored, brought it within 11-10, but he closed out the rest of the inning. 2-inning save, 1 hit, the 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, no walks. Aggies clinched the series. Brad Rudis gets his first win in his first career start. Austin Bose was 3 for 4 with a 3-run homer, and then Jack Moss, a 4-hit day, 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. The Aggies have officially cracked the D1 baseball top 25. They're ranked 21 in this week. In a Week 10 poll, and they will face Sam Houston this Tuesday night at Olsen Field, a 6:30 first pitch. That can be streamed on the SEC Network Plus. That wasn't the only good news on the Diamonds this weekend.
This is right.
Joe Evans and company made history. The program's first ever series victory over Alabama. They took 2 out of 3 from the second-ranked Crimson Tide. They defeated Montana Fouts, All-American, on Friday night, 6-4. Trinity Cannon had a 2-run go-ahead double in the 5th as the Aggies scored 3 runs in that frame to get the victory. And then Saturday, how about this? For the first time since 1997, the Alabama Crimson Tide have been run-ruled by an unranked opponent. For the first time since 2006, they've been run-ruled by anybody. The Aggies scored 7 runs in the second inning. Morgan Smith hit a 3-run homer. Mackenzie Herzog went 4 1/3 to get the W. The Aggies took down the Tide 9-1 to get the run-rule victory. They couldn't complete the sweep on Sunday, but just a fantastic weekend for Joe and company. They'll return to Davis on Wednesday to host Lamar. 6 o'clock first pitch on the SEC Network main channel on cable. And then in track and field news, 3 event titles this weekend of the Michael Johnson Invitational. Deborah Acco winning the women's triple jump, Lamara Diston winning the women's high jump, and then the men's 4x4 relay team taking it home with a time of 3:02:23, David.
I spent a lot of time this weekend around a lot of people that were here for 12th man facilities upgrade that they've got planned, which is going to be absolutely spectacular. They call it the Centennial Campaign. I don't want to go too into detail. You'll learn more about it here shortly, probably while we're on air if it hadn't come out already. But long story short, you're talking about $200 million or so in facilities, upgrades, renovations, new facilities, football across the board. You've seen the ideas for football. They've leaked out previously. They were all over TexAgs, like what they're going to do directly across the street from us coming to George Bush. Practice facilities, the indoor track down, moved over there, indoor football down, brand new one, academic center, extra practice fields, beautifying the whole area. Just really incredible stuff that they're doing that's functional, and it's jaw-dropping for fans, recruits. It's giving your athletes the best of the best. I mentioned track. What they're about to do is incredible. And then I think, not even talking about that, and I think baseball would be just around the corner. We saw a great experience at Olson this weekend. Wait until you see on down the road, because I think with Jim Schlossnagle, you have a baseball coach that's new. He's as accomplished as anyone currently coaching in the sport practically, and they've got it rolling early. I think that thing's just going to be like one of those trains that actually it's not going to look like one of those trains, because this one's going to be more like a locomotive than not a slow-moving, beep the horn for the crowd to go crazy. This thing, when you see the renderings and the photos, it's absolutely incredible what it's going to look like. And we sit here and think, man, it's like A&M, Oregon, Alabama, right? They're going next level. This is like the next 25 years of staying on top. And it just speaks to the commitment level at this place. So while everyone's crying about NIL and exaggerating numbers, what A&M's about to do is an actual legitimate flex on the rest of college sports, on the rest of college football. This is actually the real thing. You want to play make-believe and make up things such as NIL deals to justify why A&M kicked your ass in recruiting. I'm looking at you Sooner fans. I'm looking at you Longhorn fans. I'm looking at you Bama and Georgia fans, who they didn't kick their ass, but they recruited, say, on their level or above for 1 year, and some of them are doing the most crying. We'll talk about Bama here in a minute, but just again, this is they're going to flex on all of college athletics with this one. And the people that the Aggies that have given to this thing to give it such a head start, and you'll hear about that later, they're so far down that road towards meeting that number. It's insane. And the people that have been out in front and the work that's gone in on the side of the 12th Man Foundation, you're talking about many months, many years in the making with some of these donations and the commitments, and some of the people. It's just above and beyond what you could ever imagine, what they're willing to do for their university, and we see it across other, departments at Texas A&M as well. The engineering school, the business school, but it's just incredible when you really understand how much people care and how much pride they have in every aspect of this place, small to incredibly large, whether it's replacing somebody's lost Aggie ring on TexAgs or all the way up to, double figure, 8-figure donations for facilities and stuff by individuals. It's absolutely incredible.
All right, my friends, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Answer the question from earlier. How many teams do you want to see in the college football playoffs? Do you like that number that Jimbo had, 16? I want to hear from you. I'll holler back at you. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you guys next time.